Hi there, welcome to Storytime. My name's Liana and I'm here with the Ada Community Libraries. And today's story time is all about art and color. So when we get started with our song, it's going to be focused on colors. So this song only uses 3 colors. And at the end of the song, I want you to think about what these 3 colors have in common. See if you can figure it out. So, one little red crayon coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper. One little red crayon coloring on the paper. Scribble, 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 stop. One little yellow crayon coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper. One little yellow crayon coloring on the paper. Scribble, 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 stop. One little blue crayon coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper, coloring on the paper. One little blue crayon coloring on the paper. Scribble, 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 stop. All right, so we were not scribbling for real, but later we're gonna do some scribbling on this paper behind me. And that's very exciting, but for now, did you figure out what these 3 colors have in common? At first, it might not seem like a lot, but these are primary colors, which means that any other color you can think of, they can be made by a different combination of these 3 colors. So we have red, we have yellow, and we have blue. And if I wanted to make a color, let's say purple, I would mix red and I would mix blue. If I wanted to make orange, I would use red and I would use yellow. And if I wanted to make green, I would use blue and I would use yellow. There's a lot of different things you can make with just these 3 colors, and I think that's pretty cool. And the book that we are going to start with today is all about colors. It's called Swatch, The Girl Who Loved Color. And it's by Julia Danos, and it's published by HarperCollins and read with permission from them, so thank you very much. Swatch, The Girl Who Loved Color. Okay. In a place where colors ran wild, there lived a girl who was wilder still. Her name was Swatch, and she was a color tamer. She was small, but she was not afraid. Look at all of that. I could see being afraid of that, but she's very brave. She could run with the wildest shades, train them to dance, and do magic. That looks pretty magical to me. With a little patience, she learned to hunt the rare ones. Bravest Green shot up the first week of March. In Between Gray lived on her kitten's leg. Rumble Tumble Pink rolled through the sky on the heels of the outgoing thunderstorms. When she called them by name, they would come to her, because Swatch loved color, and color loved Swatch back. Look at that beautiful pink. You wouldn't think that would come from a thunderstorm, do you? Swatch had never thought of capturing a color until the day she lured Just Laid Blue straight from its nest and into a jam jar. Stay, Swatch said, and the color stayed. How beautiful it looked behind glass. You could use a friend, she said to Blue. So she caught one more, and then another, and then another. Look at all of these colors she's catching. She's putting them in these jam jars. Soon, Swatch's room was full to bursting. The colors circled, restless in their jars. They were magnificent, but there was still one color left to catch. Can you believe that there's a color left to catch? She has so many colors. And you can make a lot of these colors with those primary colors. Morning came, and there it was, fast fading and fierce, the king of all yellows, blooming in the sidewalk crack, in spite of the shadows. Swatch was ready, at last. Yellowest yellow would be hers. Suddenly, she heard a small sound. "Ahem," said Yellowest Yellow. "What are you doing?" Swatch had never asked if a color wanted taming. "Yellowest Yellow," she asked politely, "would you like to climb into this jar? You could sit on a shelf right next to Blue. You could make green together all day long if you wanted. I'll poke holes in the top, and I'll feed you dinner." But Yellow, knowing that was no way to live, said, "No, thank you." And Swatch, who could have scooped it up anyway, said, "Okay." Given that small but kindly allowance, it grew and yawned and stretched and twirled. It bloomed and whirled and leaped and swirled, spreading, billowing, twisting, up, up, up. It sprouted ears and pointy teeth. It was as big as a house. "Roar!" went Yellowest Yellow. Swatch felt small. Her jar felt silly. She had forgotten colors were wild, so she shut her eyes and prepared to be eaten. Then Swatch heard something sweet and warbling, like a fleet of canaries. She smelled something warm and buttery, like breakfast. Then something swished against her knee, purring and soft, just like home. She opened her eyes. She reached out her hand, and stretching from her tiptoes, she found she could indeed touch Yellow. "Hold on," Yellow said, and it pulled her up, up, up. High up over the rooftops, she called her colors by name, and they came to her. All of these colors coming to join her in Yellow. Them all flowing together. Isn't that beautiful? Together, they made a masterpiece. The end. Wasn't that a great story? There are all kinds of colors in this book, and you can make a whole lot of them with our primary colors. And next, we're going to read a story called Haywall, a story of art and community. It's written by Susan Verde and illustrated by John Parra. It is published by Simon & Schuster, Books for Young Readers, and read with their permission, so thank you very much. So, Haywall, a story of art and community. You are big, a city block big, my city block. Maybe once you were full of style, but no one has taken care of you. You are nothing to look at. You are cold, old, and empty. Look at that, one big blank wall and one little boy. Haywall, in the fall, James and I skateboard past you as fast as we can on the way home from school. In the winter, the dirty snow piles up in front of you. No one shovels. Danny and her friends on the block build their snowmen on the other sidewalk. There's that wall in the background. No snowmen near that wall. In the spring, Grandma Addie drinks iced tea on the stoop. She talks of a time when our neighborhood was beautiful, when you were beautiful. In the summer, the ice cream truck rolls by. We chase it to a spot far from you, where we let the ice cream melt on our tongues. Each day, we all keep our eyes down. We cheer for the tiny flowers pushing through the cracks in the sidewalk, reaching for sunlight. No one looks up at you. There is nothing to cheer for. You are only lonely concrete. Isn't that sad? The wall has to watch all of these great things happening all around it, but no one's paying attention to it. Hey, wall. When we are inside with family, friends, and neighbors, there is love, there is joy. Can you smell what's cooking? We're eating together. Can you hear the stories we share about the way things used to be? We are telling jokes and belly laughing. Can you hear our music? We are salsa dancing. We are hip-hopping. We are dizzy from spinning. We want to take it to the streets, but you don't dance. You don't laugh. You don't share your stories. Hey, wall, guess what? I'm ready to change all of that. I've got my pencil, I've got my paints, I've got my dreams. I am a writer, a creator, a game changer, a wall changer. James and Danny brought their sketches. Grandma Addie brought her memories. We've all brought our ideas and imagination. We give you one last look, and then we begin. I call to my family, my friends, my neighbors. We stand right in front of you, staring you down. You are our wall now. You've become our blank canvas. Your cracks and bumps and rough edges are our clean slate. Up on ladders and way down low, soon we have filled you with colors, creation, and energy. You are stone, but you don't have to be hard. Look at all of them working together. They're going to create something really cool. Hey, wall, look at you now. You are beautiful. Now you tell the real story of us. And together, we are something to see. Hey, wall, look at that. They have all sorts of people painted on this wall, and it reflects their community. They have singers and filmmakers, musicians, a postal worker. Maybe that's a librarian, and there's their ice cream truck. And all of the people who now get to enjoy the presence of this wall in their community. Isn't that awesome? You can find art and make art in some unexpected places and use colors to make things that might feel obtrusive or uncomfortable feel a little bit more like home. And so we're going to get ready to do an activity and be right back. Hi there, welcome back. Are you ready to do an activity? I've got my piece of paper set up here behind me, and I'm going to be using these crayons for my colors. And our project today is going to be imagining a wall from our lives, from our community, that we would like to change, and we would like to decorate like they did in the book, Haywall. So before we get started, I want us all to think about a wall in our lives. Maybe it is a wall that you think is really boring, maybe it keeps people in or it keeps people out, and it could benefit from some beautiful illustrations, maybe some form of self-expression or some type of message. Maybe it is a wall like in our story that used to be beautiful but has been abandoned and neglected or ignored, and it could use some uplifting updates. So before we get started, I want us all to think about a wall that we would change in our lives. And then when you know what wall that is and you know what you would add to it, we're going to draw that on our wall and check back in when we're done. I'm going to get started. All right, and if you can see, this is my masterpiece. I was imagining that this wall is the outside of my house. I like my house, but it sort of looks like a lot of other houses in my neighborhood, and I think it would be really fun if it could stand out and be bright and beautiful and have a wall that is decorated with a big rainbow and my two friends, Oreo and Lily. It's hard to see them from here, but they are two little pet rats, and here I've drawn them reading books because literacy is very important, and they agree with that. And I wish I could see all of the great things that you have drawn on a wall from your life or your imagination, but since I can't, I would love it if you would show your drawing and explain your inspiration to someone in your house right now, and then we're going to clean up and be back for another story. Welcome back. We have one more story to read. It is from a collection of short stories by Avi, illustrated by Marjorie Priceman. The book is called Things That Sometimes Happen, and we're going to read it today with the permission of Simon and Schuster. So, our story is called The Black Crayon. Okay, so a black crayon was feeling very unhappy because nobody used him very much. All the other crayons, the red crayon, the blue crayon, all of the different ones, were getting shorter and shorter, but the black crayon was staying very much the same size. I am just as pretty as the rest, he said to himself. One day, while a little girl was drawing some pictures, he said to her, I wish sometimes you would use me. I would like to, said the little girl, but I don't know what to draw. Draw a picture of stars and a moon and the nighttime when it's cozy and snug, said the black crayon. The little girl drew an enormous picture of nighttime. She put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. They were yellow and orange. Then she drew a moon. It was purple because she liked purple moons. In fact, she liked the purple moon so much, she made an extra baby moon. Then everything else she made nighttime using the black crayon to make it lovely dark. When she was all finished, it was such a beautiful picture, the little girl's mama put it on the wall. The black crayon was very short and very happy. The end. Look at that, a beautiful dark cat, really nice velvety sky, That looks like a bear to me. So I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't use all of my crayons in the picture that I drew back there. But maybe next time I'll take a look and see which crayons aren't getting as much use, and be sure to think of something that I can color with them. Thanks for watching our story time, and be sure to tune in next week. Thanks for watching.